Pokemon events really were a very memorable and exciting way of getting mythicals, legendaries, and even shiny Pokemon that you hadn't obtained before. Though every time I try to think of some of my favorite mystery gifts and events from the past, I can't help but recognize how much they've declined. On rare occasions, we do get some good events, for example in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. While it was cool that we got Manaphy, Shaman, Darkrai, and Arceus events, these weren't really different at all from how they were in the past. I do get that these were very faithful remakes, so these didn't make much sense to change, but what else have they given us in the past few years that even comes close to old events and mystery gifts? There are so many great events from the past, and so few that I could name in recent times, with some past events I bet you haven't even heard of or knew existed. If you miss old events and want to see Pokemon improve on new modern day ones, then definitely subscribe, because I have a surprise related to events later on in this video. I'm also coming up very close on 50,000 subscribers and could really use the help, so thank you guys for watching, and let's go. When comparing events from past to present, I like to start with Generation 3. For some reason, a lot of events were shared between Hoenn and the Kanto remakes. Some include traveling to Naval Rock to catch Lugia and Ho-Oh, and finding Deoxys at Birth Island. What felt so cool about these events back then was how simple they were, yet still very exciting for the average player. Oh, and also the fact that there were not shiny locks back then, so all of these Pokemon you could shiny hunt if you wanted to. I feel like this special charm that old events had is totally gone in modern Pokemon games though. We get some cool events sometimes, for example just last year when we were able to go to GameStop and get a paper card for shiny Zacian, Zamazenta, and Eternatus. This felt rewarding in the way that you had to physically go somewhere to get this, but we can all agree that it could have been way cooler. There were also a lot of countries in the world that were completely left out of this event with no way of getting these Pokemon without trading, which is pretty unfortunate for them. Now I want you guys to comment if this idea I have is too much to ask for. For special events like Pokemon that were previously shiny locked, what if we can go and travel to a location in game to catch the Pokemon ourselves? I doubt something like this will happen anytime soon, but it would give players a much better overall opinion on events in recent years. You can go on Twitter and look for a mystery gift announcement for just 10 seconds and find loads of comments of people wishing that there were better mystery gifts and events like what we used to get. A lot of modern mystery gifts are simply just codes that are the same code for everyone, and while this is a lot more accessible than something like the old Birth Island event was, it sure does bring down the value of that specific Pokemon. A great comparison to this is the free shiny Ponyta in Legends Arceus. I don't think anyone was complaining about getting a free shiny, but like the quote from the Incredibles movie says, when everyone's super, no one will be. Because if there's something like that everyone has, it loses any special or unique value. Some of the good events that I mentioned in the intro were in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, but it really wasn't anything new. This was less of the Pokemon Company being creative and trying to excite players, and more like them putting the exact same events in that game that were in the original Diamond and Pearl. I respect these events a lot more in the original game since they were new and had not been done before. When they bring back the exact same events without adding anything new on top of it, it's just not as exciting as you would expect to see in remakes. We haven't gotten any events yet in Scarlet and Violet, and while you could give the benefit of the doubt because the games aren't too old yet, many old Pokemon games had great events within the same time that Scarlet and Violet have been out for. With the DLC coming out later this year, I'm not really expecting any events because anything they could do would probably just be included as part of the DLC. That's what happened in Sword and Shield with that mini event where you can get Ash's hat to wear on your trainer. You had to bring a Zarude to a person who was in the Isle of Armor, so you couldn't get this without owning the DLC. Hopefully this is not a pattern that happens more often, but it likely will be. You can feel free to correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but the last time I remember an actual event where you can access different areas in the game was back in Gen 5. I remember participating in the Victini event where you got the Liberty Pass, which let you access a special area to catch Victini in. Like I said, there may have been more, but I don't remember a single one in Gen 6, 7, or any recent generation. In recent years, all we've gotten are either mystery gifts where everyone can redeem it with the same code, or events like where you have to go to GameStop, or even buy a movie ticket in Japan for Zarude in Sword and Shield. I'm sure nobody minds when we get Pokemon like this shiny Arcanine, which is a brand new mystery gift event in Scarlet and Violet. Unfortunately, at the time you're watching this, it's too late to redeem this if you haven't yet. But like I was saying, nobody really minds mystery gifts like this because there's really nothing to complain about. It's a free shiny Pokemon, it comes in a Cherish Ball, and has a free held item too. It's really hard to compare mystery gifts like this to old events because I don't really categorize them in the same way. The main issue here is that we've always had events and always had mystery gifts, with most people agreeing that they like events more. Events allowed you to get rare Pokemon, usually ones that you weren't able to get before, and often added other bits of new content to the game as well. Now, all we really get are mystery gifts that you can redeem online and forget about 5 minutes later. Before we're done with today's video, I want you guys to try to guess what this DS cartridge is for. It says not for resale game card demo, and if you saw my YouTube short or my TikTok a long time ago, you might already know what this is. Alright, if you guys guessed a distribution cartridge for an old Pokemon event, then you would be correct. This cartridge was used at a GameStop in, I believe, 2011 to distribute Celebes to anyone who came into the GameStop during the event period. I'll be coming out with a video really soon, showing you guys everything I can do with this cartridge, telling you about how I got it, and yeah, pretty much everything you'd want to know. Anyways, I want to know what parts of the video you agree and disagree with, so please leave some comments down below. Me personally, I just really wish that we still got Pokemon events where we got to travel to new areas and catch a legendary or mythical Pokemon. Let me know your thoughts, because at this rate, I'm probably going to have to make my own Pokemon event. Also, I just made an account on Threads, which is supposedly like the new Twitter, so I guess you can follow me on there. The link will be in the description if you're interested. If you haven't, then please subscribe, because I am not far from 49 and 50,000 subscribers, and thank you so much for watching.